Yo, what is good, y'all? It is the Ozempic Cleveland Brown Jr. coming at you again with another video. I'm not gonna lie, bro. The other day I was watching this One American Dad episode. It was the one where Roger gets roasted and then for some reason tries to annihilate the entire family. Like he didn't know what a roast was. But it got me thinking, what are the most dysfunctional families in cartoon history? Which ones are the absolute worst? And I don't just mean who are the worst parents or who are the worst kids. I mean parent versus child, parent versus parent, sibling versus sibling, indiscriminate creature like freaking Brian or Klaus or Roger, whatever, versus the rest of the family. What families are the absolute grimiest, the worst fucking people to be around? So first I want to start with the best out of the worst families, which would be Rick and Morty. And I know what you're about to say, in what world is Rick and Morty like the best type of fucking family, blah blah blah. Hear me out. Rick may seem like a terrible father, he is a terrible father, but the rest of the family isn't that bad. And even Rick himself still shows enough compassion and love about his family to not downgrade him to the level of, oh, alright, this motherfucker is actually a fucking villain. He is a super villain in the known universe, but to his own family, he's not that bad. Alright, so if we're gonna look at Rick and Morty as a whole, we have to look at where the dysfunction is coming from. And I would say in particular, it all starts with Rick and Beth. Rick and his daughter have a weird, tumultuous relationship that really relies on her craving the love and attention from her father, because in her own words, he was not there or like around, or he just abandoned her from her perspective as a child. But what we know as watchers is that her Rick isn't even the Rick from her universe. So the Rick that we're watching, his wife and daughter died a long time ago. They died, and he was just going around the universe like killing other versions of himself because another version of him killed his wife and daughter. Buggy. But another version of him killed his wife and daughter, so he just went around the universe and eventually stumbled upon this Beth who didn't have a Rick, is what we can guess. And their dynamic and their whole situation is weird based off of that. And in one episode called The ABCs of Beth, it kind of clues us into Beth's childhood and this weird realm that Rick created for her called Fruppyland. So in this episode, we do get a clue as to how Beth had grown up, and both from her and Rick's perspective. So from Rick's perspective, he created Fruppyland as a way for Beth to fucking not terrorize the neighborhood, because she was apparently a menace. She was making Rick make all types of devices and just an arsenal of like weapons.
Look at some of the shit you were asking me to make you as a kid. Ray guns, a whip that forces people to like you, invisibility cuffs, a parent trap, a lightning gun, a teddy bear with anatomically correct innards, night vision googly eye glasses, sound erasing sneakers, false fingerprints.
Other stuff that she could use to manipulate like kids around her, or, you know, keep them as like friends. Rick was like, oh shit, the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree. I'm a menace, she's a menace, I gotta do something about this. So he's like, I'm just gonna make this safe little world for her to go and have her own adventures, right? So he does that, but from Beth's point of view, right, she was abandoned in this world for like long periods of time, right? Meaning from her point of view, oh, her dad just doesn't want her. But from Rick's point of view, oh, I'm trying to save the other kids from you. You're fucking weird. So in this episode, we also see Beth go through some sort of like existential crisis, and Rick makes her an offer, basically saying, hey, I could clone you and you could go out on all these adventures throughout space and do this wild ass shit and nobody would ever know. I could just clone you, you know, you go on, abandon your family, go have a blast. You don't even have to come back. I'll make the clone exactly like you. No one will ever tell the difference, not even you.
I can make a clone of you. A perfect instance of you with all your memories, an exact copy in every way. It'll love and provide for the kids, do your job, and consume broadcast network reality TV on the same allegedly ironic level as you. You could be gone a day, a week, or the rest of your life with zero consequences. The moment you decide to come back, I flip a switch, and the clone's job is done. It feels no pain, regrets nothing, and has zero chance of going Blade Runner.
And we don't even get the answer until later on in the series, but basically, spoiler alert, she does do that shit. So, it's not the worst thing anyone in this family has done, but it does show you, like, this family is, like, very opportunistic, or they just, like, you're just gonna up and leave your family, bro? like, she just left her kids, left her husband, left everybody. She's like, I'm out, I'm going on adventures in space. I don't give a fuck. Like, damn, bitch. I mean, me too, but shit. In a later episode, right, at the end of season 4, we do kind of get confirmation Beth was cloned, right? And her alter ego, Space Beth, and her can't really tell the difference because Rick couldn't even tell the difference. He cloned her and then did like this mix and match where he just had his computer like kind of scramble the clone in the original, so he couldn't even tell. It's kind of fucked, bro. And yeah, the family's dysfunctional and very twisted. I wouldn't even say Rick's real problem. His main problem isn't really with Beth though. It's with himself, and it's also with his son-in-law Jerry. And Jerry, bro, Jerry gets the most shit out of anybody in the series, bro. Jerry just is a normal dude. Like, he's dumb as hell, but he's just a normal person. Like, he's just a regular guy. So yeah, Jerry does get the most shit. And not only from Rick, not only from his wife, but from his kids too. Right? Everybody just degrades the fuck out of him. In one episode in particular, and it's not even like his family doesn't love him, but it's more like they pity him or view him as pathetic more than they do love him. And that messes with him like psychologically. You can just tell like over time this man's spirit is just degraded. Like he's on the edge, the verge all the time. Bro just be accepting like I guess niggas just out to kill me. Nobody really loves me. Nobody fucks with me. And it's like, you can see how weak and pathetic he is as a person. So there's an episode called Morty Night Run that's dedicated, basically, to how Rick views Jerry, in a sense. They created the Ricks of the galaxy, right? There's multiple Ricks, multiple different universes of Rick. They created an intergalactic daycare for Jerry, like where they put all the Jerrys.
Aren't you handsome?
Thank you. I'm Jerry.
Oh, I know you are. Did you come here in a spaceship?
I don't know how this works. Help me. Hey,
What the hell?
I know, right? Oh, what the hell? I know, right?
Jerry Barry, you created a daycare for my dad?
I don't even fuck with him. I don't even like him. I don't like his character at all. He's like my least favorite character on the show. I'm sure it's supposed to be set up like that, right? All I can say is objectively, it's got to be the most degrading thing another grown man can put you through. Bro, they dedicated a daycare to you. Nobody fucks with you so much. They've dedicated this daycare to you so they don't have to deal with you. You're gonna ruin the vibes, brother. We can't see you. You can't be on the adventure. You're done for. Get in the daycare. You can leave. You can try and leave. But you don't even speak the alien language that's outside of this door. So even if you try and leave, it's rats for you, you're dead. So you're trapped there until somebody comes picks you up. It's just fucked. It's just fucked, bro. Like I said earlier, Rick is not the only one who gives Jerry shit, bro. His own daughter, Summer, she degrades this man. Degrades this. Oh my god. She be treating her own father like mud, bro. Like, it's not like she beats the shit out of him or something like that. But the shit that she says to him, from another perspective, just if I had a daughter and she spoke to me like that, I would never talk to her again. On God, I would never talk to her again. She does not care about you, bro. She doesn't like you. She's trying to destroy your self-confidence. No cap. And maybe that's not like a harsh thing to say, but like some of the shit that she says to him, bro, really. All right, in Childrick of Mort, in this one episode, Childrick of Mort, I have no idea how to say it, bro. I don't care. In that episode, Jerry literally just wants to take the kids camping, right? They end up getting sidetracked by Rick, and going over to this other planet where Rick has this child with the planet. I don't know, bro. So Rick has this child with the planet. Some bullshit. There, Jerry's like, nah, we're still going camping, kids. Like, come on, bro. Like, I still want to do this trip. I still want to have that connection with you guys. They're not banging with it. They're not fucking with it. They do not want to. They're not putting their phones away. They don't really want to get invested with their dad like that. They don't really. Summer views Jerry in the same way that Beth views Jerry. Incapable, weak, pathetic, all of those things, and she says that to him. Right?
Here, take a bite of this tasty treat.
Oh, you think this s'more makes you special? What, because someone said good job to you once when you were 10? That's actually really sad, Dad. Let's be real, you've been high-roading us nonstop, forcing us to do nothing in the middle of nowhere because it's the only way you're gonna level the playing field, isn't it? Because if you move the bar so low, you might actually seem like you're worth a
So she just like degrades him at this campfire in front of her brother, and her brother's like, Morty's like, yo, bro, like, that's big, that's pops, bro, chill. And she's like, nah, I don't give a fuck. like what, bro? You can kind of see where their father-daughter like dynamic like deteriorated over time just by watching the series, but it's still beyond fucked up to me. I don't know. There's another example of like maybe misguided parenting. And this is from Beth to Summer. So there's this episode where there's a Love Finders app. And in it, I guess Jerry creates this app with this alien, right? And it's like Tinder but on crack. Basically the app, as soon as you swipe on a person, as soon as you match with a person, boom, you fall in love with them like right away, right? And Summer's on the app, she's scrolling, she's just mink, falling in love with everybody, freaking girls, guys, whatever, right? The theys, the thems, I don't judge. So she's falling in love with everyone. She's out there just doing whatever, but her mom is like, bro, like you can't just be doing this, blah blah blah. Eventually it gets to the extreme where Beth and Summer end up fighting because Beth is like trying to parent her or, you know, mother the shit out of her so hard that she ends up just beating her ass, which I guess, like, you know what I mean, works. But it's one of the only examples of like kind of misguided parenting I could find from Beth to Summer, just showing like Beth's like need to take control of situations to the point where she's like, you know what, fuck it, if words don't work, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you and you're gonna listen. It ends up working though. It ends up working, you know what I mean? So 50-50, I guess, you know. So now that we've taken a look at Summer and her parents' like relationship, we can kind of get a glimpse of Jerry and Bess. Jerry and Bess' relationship is genuine garbage, bro. Like actual shit wrapped in shit and then coated and deep fried in shit. There's an episode, Big Trouble in Little Sanchez, where Rick ships Beth and Jerry off to an intergalactic space counselor and all hell breaks loose, right? They're both confronted with how they view each other. Beth views Jerry as like this weak-willed worm type of creature, and Jerry views Beth as this menacing, destructive presence in his life. Super powerful, super controlling, just like a complete freak. And it shows how much they secretly detest one another, or at least like these qualities in one another, right?
What the hell kind of relationship do you have?
Oh, right. Blame this on us.
Okay, I can and I am. Your demonized mythologizations of each other are cooperating.
Isn't that good?
No! No! It's bad! You have the single worst marriage I've ever witnessed. It shouldn't exist. You should never, ever have gotten together, and I do not understand how or why you would ever stay together.
Well, this is just bad couples therapy.
Totally.
Even if by the end of the episode they end up getting together, even when they do, Beth is like, oh, well, this should keep us sustained for like another year. Like, what? What do you mean another year, bro? Just break up. Just break up. And they do in later seasons. They end up splitting apart because Jerry makes Beth choose, hey, it's either me or your dad. And she's like, oh, I'm banging with my dad. I don't even, you're mid. And he's, what? So they end up getting, splitting, whatever. But hey, when you're watching this episode and you see how they both secretly like just detest one another, it's kind of mind-boggling how long that they've stayed together like that, whether it's just been for the sake of the children or whatever else. And lastly, I want to talk about maybe the most detrimental and unstable relationship, Rick and Morty, right? You can obviously tell they love each other. Just at certain points, you can tell that they love each other, they care about each other. Morty probably more so than his grandfather does for him. But even in the pilot episode, bro, Rick does not have Buddy's best interest at heart. He just doesn't.
You gotta turn the shoes on, Morty, for them to work. Yeah, look, I turned mine on. I had no problem getting down here. It was a leisurely breeze.
I'm in a lot of pain, Rick.
Yeah, I can see that. But do you think you'll still be able to help me collect my seeds, Morty?
Are you kidding me? That's it, Rick. That's the last straw. Oh, ow. You're a monster. You're like Hitler, but even Hitler cared about Germany or something.
Right? He's a narcissist. He's an egomaniac. He does things for Rick. And Morty says this throughout the series constantly. Rick does things for Rick. Rick does not do things for you or for the presence of you. I think we've all had somebody in our lives who their interest is their interest alone, and whatever you want in life, if it doesn't revolve around what their end goal is, scrap that shit. Right? So in the first pilot episode, Rick is trying to get these mega seeds. He needs Morty to wear these gravity shoes to go get them. No instructions on the gravity shoes. Just, go get these seeds for me, bro. Morty goes to get them, breaks his fucking legs, just crying on the ground. Rick's just like talking to him. He's like, bro, I can't believe you. Like, you're really not gonna go get my seeds right now? Like, bro, just stand up. He's like, my legs are broke. Like, just screaming, crying on the ground, writhing in pain. And Rick is just like, oh my god, I guess I'll fix your legs for you, right? He goes to get this dude a serum to fix his legs, and when he comes back, he's like, Morty, you wouldn't even believe what I had to do for that, bro. I had to go to another dimension. I had to go to a dimension where everybody's perfect and they live long lives, and all the bitches was on me, bro, because they never seen an old nigga before, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how are you? Just save your grandson, bro. Like, wait, why are you? What is this monologue? Another huge instance of this was the Cronenberg episode. So,
What does it look like? The serum is piggybacking on the virus. It's gone airborne, Morty.
Oh, crap. What are we gonna do, Rick?
It's gonna be fine, Morty. Relax. I whipped up an antidote. It's based on praying mantis DNA.
Rick decides, you know what? Morty's really bugging. He does want my help on this. And Morty just wants help with like a love potion, right? For this girl he likes at school. Rick cooks one up for him, bada bing, bada boom, boom. There you go. Sends him off. Not really telling him anything about like what the side effects could be, nothing like that. So Morty rubs a little bit of this potion on the girl he likes, bada bing. It ends up getting on a few other people, and because it's flu season, it ends up having a really bad effect on everybody at that school. And they all start desiring Morty crazy, and it just becomes airborne. And Rick cooks up an antidote and is like, all right, here's this antidote. I'm going to spray it on everybody here. It's going to work. Boom, bro. My bad about that. Sprays the antidote. It makes everything 10 times worse. 10 times worse. People become insect creatures all around the world. The world's in shit, chaos, whatever, bro. Keep in mind, not once do they check up on the other family members. Not a single time this is going on do they call up another family member. Yo, everything's going to shit. Yo, holy fuck. Not once. Rick's solution to this? Morty, we're packing up and going to another world, bro. This shit is mud. We're dipping to another world. His family's fine, by the way. We're dipping to another world where we're dead and we're taking over that shit.
Here we are.
Oh my god, Rick! Is that us? We're dead! What is going on, Rick? I'm freaking out!
Calm down, Morty. Look at me. Calm down, Morty. Will you listen to me, Morty?
What about the reality we left behind?
What about the reality where Hitler cured cancer, Morty? The answer is don't think about it. Now pick up your dead self and come on. Haste makes waste.
So that's literally what they do. The original Rick and Morty from that universe have just left that fucking universe. They're in a different world. Like for the rest of the series. So what do when they get to this new world? Bro, Rick makes his grandson bury the dead version of... Bro's like 14. He makes his grandson bury the dead version of himself in the backyard. Morty's traumatized. You see it on little buddy's face. Look at his face. You see it on his face. He's traumatized. He's tweaked. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Rick doesn't give a fuck. Bro, there's no check-ins, bro. There's no, yo, are you good? Not even, hey, man, you want to get ice cream? Nothing. They just sit in front of the TV and act like it never happened. Like, he's kind of shit. He's a trash person. He really is. He's a trash person. And that leads other people in the series to become trash people. All right, bro. Coming in like middle of the pack, American Dad. Is the family batshit crazy? Yeah. Are they abusive? Yes. But the worst person in their family, I use that term loosely, is not even family for real, bro. Roger Smith is a psychopathic, narcissistic, drug-abusing freak. Brother is a diabolical menace in Langley Falls, bro. Actually fucking crazy. He just uses multiple personalities to entertain himself and cause chaos throughout the entire town. Sidetrack. This motherfucker's kill count is obnoxious. Bro, I was going through... They have an episode where Buddy's actually a serial killer. Like, just dedicated to him being a doll and killing people. But I feel like the episode that best showcases how wild this motherfucker gets sometimes is the Great Space Roaster. In this episode, it's Roger's birthday, and he wants a roast. He has no fucking idea what that is, bro. He has no idea what that is. He wants a roast. The family goes in on him, right? They go in on him. Keep in mind, he has no idea. He has no idea what it is that he really asked for. So he ends up crying, having a whole fit, and saying everybody is basically dead to him. Then he plots to kill the entire family.
I gotta lie down.
You guys can get up now. It's definitely over.
Roger might be trying to kill us.
For giving him what he wanted. He plots to kill the entire family. Not on like, oh no, I'm kind of mad. No, he's cutting them out, bro. He's trying to get them the fuck out of here. He basically puts a mafia hit on them.
You're alive! So you are pissed about the roast?
You're damn right I am.
Roger!
It's too late.
A switch went off inside me that night, and now all I think about is killing you guys.
Get them blown up. He gets the house shot up. Bruh, they try to escape Roger. Steve ends up tranking, bro. And then Stan sends Buddy to the most secure prison ever, underwater. And he escapes. So Roger does all this shit, escapes in like 30 minutes, just on some real tight time. And then hops on like the spaceship that they're on, right? Because they try to escape Roger by going on the spaceship once they saw that he escaped prison. So he follows them, blah blah blah, gets on the ship. He basically knocks them all out once he gets there, because they're not stopping Big Rods, let's be honest. He knocks them all. I don't know what is good with Roger, by the way. He's got to be one of the strongest beings in the universe. Like, canonically, Roger might be one of the strongest beings ever. He knocks them all out. And then he wants them to roast each other. And they're fine with it. They're just going off each other, just playing off of it, whatever. They're all laughing, having a good time. And Buddy doesn't even understand why. Like, his brain is so fucked. He doesn't even understand why. And they're like, Roger, we're family. And then Francine is like, Roger, did you not think you were part of our family? He's like, wait, what? I am? Wait, I might have overreacted. Like, bro. So on the flip side of Roger trying to kill the entire family, we have the episode 300 where Roger somehow still gets the whole family to try and kill each other, even if it is like indirectly. In this episode, Roger shits gold like in the past, and his shitting gold somehow is the catalyst for all negative things in the entire universe or just Earth. And because he shit this gold that once you see it, like, you crave it so much that you attack other people for it, even your own family. And the only way to stop like negative shit in the world is to put the shit back inside Roger. Yeah. So a religious cult ends up like hatching this scheme to stick the gold back up Roger, and they succeed, and Roger for some reason shatters into a million pieces upon them doing this shit. So the Smith family, they end up going and collecting all these pieces of Roger, building him back together basically, and then stealing this gold from Steve Harvey. And I know you guys are missing some context there. Watch the fucking episode, nigga. I don't know what to tell you, bud. So they steal the gold from Steve Harvey, and immediately, like, some of the family start craving it, but don't admit they're craving it. Stan steals it, and then, like, leaves the family, I guess, for like 20 years. And Steve ends up tracking him down. And they immediately start, like, kind of getting confrontational about it. And then Steve, like, knocks his dad out and tries to steal the fucking gold from him. Then Steve ends up getting run over by Hayley. Hayley gets the gold. And then Hayley ends up getting shot by Francine. Francine gets the gold. And then Francine and Stan end up struggling for the gold. And Stan and Francine are going at it. And Francine shoots Stan with the nail gun. Bro, a lot of shit is happening. And then she ends up getting her neck broken because she gets, like, caught in this machine. All of this shit happens. At the end of the episode, Roger just picks that shit back up, bro. Like, all I'm saying is, I don't even think this episode is canon, but it kind of does show, like, the lengths people will go for greed, and just, like, I guess, like, how this family could end up turning on each other in a sense if that were real. Basically, it's still all Roger's fault. Like, no matter what happens, all that shit is still Roger's fault. Another dynamic I want to talk about is Steve and Stan, bro. So Steve and Stan end up having this dynamic where a lot of the times it's like Stan trying to bully Steve into being like more of a man. But in this I Am the Walrus episode,
it smells like pee.
This is my area.
Look, Dad, I'm coming for you. Now I know. You're afraid of me. You've always been afraid of me.
Steve is like one-upping his dad, finishing his food faster, taking bigger shits. Boy's just out there, you know what I mean? Like, boy's just out there. And his dad and like him kind of like end up like having a bit of like a confrontation where his dad is like, yo, this couch is mine, like, get the fuck off my couch, blah blah blah. And they're going at it, and Steve's like, bro, don't worry, I'm coming for the title. Like, I'm gonna be the man of the house. Like, your time is coming to a close, brother. So Stan ends up like bugging out the whole episode. Like, he's taking a piss on the couch, he's marking his territory. He's actually a twisted motherfucker, bro.
Ooh, sounds like Mommy found a comic.
Oh, it's Steve.
Oh my God, Steve, don't look!
Yeah, Steve, don't look. Look.
Mommy and Daddy are just dancing.
Yeah, we're dancing. We're not dancing.
Bro, literally in one scene, he's like he's fucking Francine, leaves the door open, like baits Steve in with some snacks. Or was it comics? It was snacks or comics. He baits Steve in. And then he's fucking Steve's mom right in front of him. Just to do it. Just to be like, yo, look what could happen. So there's a bunch of like little things like that coming, and they go head to head. By the end of it, you know what I mean? Like, shit gets resolved, but Stan's always trying to like take shit to the extreme. You know what I mean? Like, bro just can't be a regular dad. Can't just be there for his son. Nah. He always gotta be like one other people, just on some next level shit. It's actually hilarious. We do have Stan, you know, conducting some sort of psychological torture on Steve. But I feel like what he did to Hayley in the episode Hayley is a lot worse. As a child, Hayley is subjected to being an undercover CIA operative. Like, she's literally trained and brainwashed because Stan has like put her in this program so that like she'll be the best like housewife imaginable or some shit like that. For some reason, that's what he was for his daughter. So he puts her in this program where she's like a killer. She's being trained on how to kill, but also how to be like a good wife and all this other shit. But he doesn't activate her until she's like, oh, I don't want to get married. And she's like, I'm just going to do me. I'm not going to get married. I'm going to do my own shit. And Stan's like, nah. Activates that shit. And then she's like obedient, doing whatever he says, but she's also a trained killer. And apparently this entire thing, the like that entire operation was failed because the operatives that they trained ended up turning on their handlers. And in this case, that's Stan. So she ends up trying to kill Stan for the rest of the episode. Like, just trying to, like, which, you know, she's valid in that. Even if she does not know what's happening, she's kind of, like, valid in that. Because, bro, why would you do that to your child? What's good with you? And there's no way Francine knew about that. Why would you do that? You're out of your mind, brother. So, he's actually shitty as fuck as a father, bro. Like, he's worse than Rick in certain ways. Because he's, like, purposely trying to be a dick to Steve. And then, like, trying to be so controlling over Hayley's life that he ends up almost ruining her life, bro. In the end, though, she actually ends up killing Stan, or like he ends up dying for about like 6 minutes. And when he comes back, she's out of the brainwashing shit, but she never remembers what happens, and Stan never tells her the truth. So it's like GG's. Yeah, he's not winning any Father of the Year awards. Not the worst father yet. Promise you. Not the worst father yet, but he's pretty shit. He's pretty shit. Hayley and her mom, Francine's relationship is pretty normal, right? As normal as you can get for, you know, like, completely abnormal family. But in one episode, Roger kind of, like, develops a little crush on Hayley. And this is the Magnificent Steven episode. Roger ends up developing a little bit of a crush on Hayley, and it turns into him like complimenting Hayley, like, oh, you're the prettiest in the house, blah blah blah. Like, it's some Jersey Shore drama shit. He's such an instigating little bitch.
Come on, look at that body. Young, firm, everything's where it should be. I guess she is the prettiest one in the house.
Oh, really? Hag! Tramp!
Ladies, please, no violence.
He ends up complimenting her in front of Francine. You're the prettiest in the house. Francine's like, prettiest in the house? This ugly ass bitch. Like, her own daughter. This bitch? Nah. So they end up getting into like a little like competition, vying for Roger's affection. And that leads to them going into like an all out brawl. That is completely instigated by Roger. He like literally bumps into Hayley or bumps into Francine, and then they end up like going at it. Mid-fight, Roger's supplying weapons. Bro, Roger's actually a menace, bro. I swear. Without Roger, I think half the people in the show would not be at conflict or at war with each other. He's supplying weapons, all this shit. Come to find out.
What are you doing?
Perfect. I think I got enough.
Enough? Enough for what?
Why, for motherdaughtercatfight.com. You submit footage of your best mother-daughter scratch fest, and they send you a free t-shirt.
The only reason Roger even did this shit was because he's trying to win a t-shirt on a website. He's trying to make videos of mothers and daughters fighting so he can win a t-shirt. I don't give a fuck. He said, fuck your friend, your mother-daughter relationship. I need to win this shirt. I would say even without Roger there, let's say that conflict was probably still there. Because at a certain point, Francine was still kind of subconsciously jealous of her daughter. Which is like kind of interesting, but that their dynamic for the most part is usually fine. As far as I can see, like through the episodes you watch, it's like they're mostly good. Most of Hayley's problems or Francine's problems are with, Stan. Because Stan is literally a dickhead. So the last relationship I want to dive into is Stan and Francine. There are 1,000 reasons Francine would have to divorce Buddy. Let's just be honest. 1,000 reasons why she would have to divorce Stan and completely get bro out of her life. But in the end, she loves him. Stan, in his own way, he loves her. But I think the worst thing he's ever done to her is get her abducted and sent to the psych ward because he missed their anniversary, bruh.
Happy anniversary!
It was you! You put me in here!
Okay, you got me. But it's not a problem. No, because it was all for a bigger cause. To plan the perfect anniversary.
The perfect...
For love. I did it for love!
Love? 3 days in a loony bin?
He missed their anniversary. He's like, oh man, how do I get out of this? I gotta find her a gift. I gotta do all this shit. I need more time. Yo, let's make her think she's crazy. I'm gonna get her sent to the psych ward. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. She's not fine, bro. She's not fine. Bruh. He gets her sent to the fucking psych ward on some abduction shit. Like, she's actually taken from her, like, from the driveway of their house. And he's just watching. She's taken from the driveway. And then she, like, finds out he sent her there. He's so grimy.
I hate you.
That's nice. The calm before the resolution.
Hate you! I hate you!
So grimy, and he ends up getting committed to the psych ward, or ends up going into the psych ward, and then they have to find a way to escape because bro just did not remember their anniversary. Oh my god, he's just this guy. Coming in at a close second is literally the adult animation that got me started on just watching this type of shit. Family Guy. Specifically, the Griffin household. Now, if we're talking about family dysfunction in particular, I can't even mention the Griffins without talking about their daughter, Meg, the proverbial fucking punching bag of that entire family, bro. In a season 4 episode called The Griffin Family History.
What's going on? I heard a noise. Is somebody downstairs?
Oh, God, Meg, you startled me. I'm sorry.
Dad, I can't go through the vent.
Yeah, she's right. We need to grease her up so she doesn't get stuck. Everybody spit on Meg.
Stop! You got... Stop! Okay.
The Griffins are getting robbed, and Peter's in the panic room, right? His daughter comes up behind him. She's asking, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. He stares at her for a good 10 seconds. A good 10 seconds. He's got a baseball bat in one hand. He knows what time it is. Stares at her for a good 10 seconds and just cracks her shit. Bro has the audacity to say, oh my god, Meg, you startled me. Bro, no, she didn't. If we're using Meg as a reference for Griffin household dysfunctionality, right? It's fucking prime time. Later in that same episode, they need someone to like kind of go check out the scene. They're like, oh, somebody needs to go through the vent. Why not Meg? She's the sacrificial lamb of the family. Why not her? Meg is like, nah, like how would I even get through there? Blah blah blah. I wouldn't be able to fit all this shit. They're like, oh, we'll lube you up. Brother. Nigga, the whole family spits on her. They just all get in a circle and they just spit on this bitch for no reason. It's actually not. It's like, it's probably the cruelest thing you could do. If my family did that shit to me, I would never see them again. You would never hear me speak to you again. The whole family spit on you, bro. And then they send you as a sacrifice? I don't think so. Not for me. That's one episode. There are a lifetime of Family Guy episodes where she's getting bruised, battered, beat, verbally abused. Bruh, it's crazy. It's crazy. In another episode called Steroids, Lois is actually, she's attempting to be a decent mother, right? She's talking to Meg, blah blah blah. Meg's talking about how shitty she feels about herself, how she wants to kill herself, all of this shit, right?
I hate my school. I hate everyone. I hate my life.
Okay, look, Meg, I've been at this for 45 minutes. I don't know what else I can say. Here's a Sylvia Plath book and a bottle of Ambien. I'm gonna look the other way, and whatever happens, happens.
Apparently, you know, in cartoon time, Lois is talking to her for like 40 minutes, right? She's like, Meg, I've been talking to you for a while. Honestly, I'm gonna give you this bottle of Ambien and a Sylvia Plath book. You do what you have to do. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Bro, she just sent her own daughter to her death. She's like, handle it. I'm done. I'm hands free. You got it. You have to handle it. I can't even speak to you anymore. Lois is actually corrupt. Like she's on the same level. Lois is one of the only like women who is really on the same level as Peter when it comes to being a terrible fucking parent. Like terrible, bro. It's grimy out there for Meg, bro. I honestly feel bad for her. In a later episode, right, Meg actually ends up getting her lick back against Peter. She comes out of prison. She goes to jail. I forget why. She comes out, bro, and she's like, who's the toughest in the house? Who's the toughest in the house? Peter's like, oh, that might be me. Meg just starts teeing off on Buddy. Just starts whooping his ass. She asks another question. She said, who's the funniest? Might be me. Peter says again. She just starts teeing off again, just whooping him. Whole family sitting on the couch watching. She just murking their dad, bro. Honestly, that shit made me feel good because Peter's genuinely a dickhead. But that's besides the point. It does like show at any point, you know what I mean? Shit can flip. Like Meg is just, she's getting her lick back against her parents, right? She's just getting her revenge, but at the same time, she's just as bad. There are multiple like instances of physical violence with this family, right? Like multiple times where they're all like going to war with each other. But in Lethal Weapons, the entire family ends up going at it. It starts off with just Peter and Lois arguing, and she shoves Peter. Peter's like, how could you do this to me? And she's like, I just did. What's good? What does he do? Do you think Peter just walks off? That's not the type of man he is. Just dead. Punches her shit. Just whacks her. And then they're going at it, right? They're fighting each other. And then Chris and Meg are on the sidelines. Chris is rooting for Peter, and Meg is like, no, mom is obviously in the right here, blah, blah, blah. Now they're fighting and going at it. And then randomly, you just see Stewie and Brian going at it for no reason. They weren't even arguing. So the whole family is just like, ends up being intertwined in this WWE no DQ match, throwing bottles at each other, fucking chairs, everything, right? The entire family's at war. By the end of the episode, they're just sitting on the couch. They're sitting on the couch and they're just like, oh my god, you know what the problem is though? It's probably TV. There's too much violence on TV. Like, bruh. It's probably you guys. It's probably just you. I also want to touch on the fact that Lois and Peter their thing isn't just like physical violence, right? Because Lois actually does end up cheating on Peter with Bill Clinton, right? She ends up cheating on Peter with Bill fucking Clinton. Bill Clinton and Peter were bros. They were partying, doing all this shit together, and by the end of the episode, Lois ended up fucking him for no reason. Just does. Not even the only time she cheated on Peter. In another episode, Meg is dating. She finally gets a boyfriend. Lois is like, can't have that. My daughter's happy? The fuck? Hell no. Can't have that shit. She ends up making out with Meg's boyfriend on the couch.
Mom, I forgot my keys. Do you know where?
Bruh. Bro, she's really... Lois, she's a D tier character. She's not up there. I like Meg more than I like Lois. She's mid. And of course, I can't not mention this episode. These 2 episodes in particular. That was 4. 2. Stewie kills Lois and Lois kills Stewie. Even if they're not canonically correct, right? Even if it was all a simulation, it was still a thought that Stewie had that led him to be like, you know what? I need to actually experience what it would be like to kill my mom. Like, little bro's deranged, right? So it ends up being like, Brian's just like, oh my God, Stu, you're all talk, bro. You're all talk. You're always talking about how you're gonna kill Lois. You're always talking about how you're gonna do this, do that. You never do shit, bro. You're really not like that. And Stewie's like, oh, I'm not. Bro ends up doing a simulation, right? He ends up doing a trial run of what it would be like to kill Lois.
What are you doing with a gun?
Something I should have done a very long time ago.
So in this trial run, he goes to the cruise ship that Lois and Peter are on, brings out the ooze, the little ooze, sprays her shit. She flies off the boat. Then he ends up trying to pin the murder on Peter. Ends up trying to pin it on him. But Lois comes back. She's alive and she's like, oh, Stewie killed me. He's a bitch. Stewie's like, what? Mom, please. He dips out of there. Now Lois is on the hunt for Stewie. And she's like minking little buddy up. Just throwing her hands. She looked like Prime Mike. But she can't pull the trigger.
I could never hurt you.
Well, that works out perfectly because I can hurt you.
She can't do it. The only one who can, for some reason, Peter. Peter just blasts little bro. Pooh. Blast him away. That's my gun, personally. That's pooh. That's mine. Don't. Alright? She blasts him away. He blasts him away. And, you know, the simulation ends. But I just wanted to mention it because of the fact that it's like a thought that he had to the extreme where he felt like he had to simulate it. And I feel like that just like implies how fucking deranged Stewie is, where he's like, you know, I need to experience that. Like, I might have to kill her. All right, man. Last relationship I want to talk about. Last family dynamic. When these two are not twins, bro, when they are not fucking bros, they are at each other's throats. They are at each other's throats, bro. Stewie and Brian. In the Patriots games episode, Shaboopy, y'all know that shit. That first of all, side note, Family Guy has some of the most elite bangers of all time. I'll put that on everything. You're telling me Shaboopy didn't go? All right. Anyway, Stewie lends Brian some money. Brian's like, all right, I got you. I'll pay you back when I can. Blah blah blah. And Stewie's like, all right, bro. You know, give me my money in a few days. And Brian's like, I got you. Stewie comes back. He's like, yo, where's my money at? Brian's like, I ain't got it yet. All right, well, have it by tomorrow, or there's gonna be a problem. He's like speaking like he's like literally 1980 John Gotti. There's gonna be a problem, little bro. And Brian's like, all right, bro, I'm gonna have your shit. Just calm down. He doesn't have it. He does not have it. Bro literally gets out the shower. Stewie's like, you don't got my money? Like, I gave you so many chances. You really don't got it? He's like, nah, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna get it to you. He's like, no. He just starts beating his ass in the shower, smacking his shit. He's on the ground bloody. He's like, here, dust yourself off. There was the rag on him. I love Stewie, bro. He's too funny. So he's like, all right, well, you better have my money by tomorrow. He still don't got his money. Stewie ends up shooting out bro's kneecaps and then setting him on fire. Drawling. He's like, all right, bro, I'll get you your money. Okay, I got it. So Stewie kind of admits later on, he's like, all right, bro, maybe I went too far. Like, yeah, I did kind of take it to the extreme. You can have one get back at me. And Brian's like, all right, bet. But he doesn't know when it's coming. So the entire rest of the episode, you're kind of waiting for Brian to get back at Stewie. Stewie doesn't know when it's coming. He's like freaking out. At the end of the episode, bro. At the end of the episode, Brian out of nowhere, you don't even know what's going to happen. Brian out of nowhere just shoves him off the curb into an oncoming bus, bro. What's crazy is that even though this family is so dysfunctional and like just like insane, they obviously have love for one another. That's why I didn't put them number one. But they're so fucking insane and disruptive that they're just like so close to being number one. Cause it's like constant conflict. It's constant like manipulation. They're at war with each other, just plotting and doing maniacal, devious shit in the background. Alright guys, so like I said, the 1 and 2 spots are basically transferable, but this is so fucking close, bro. South Park has some of the most degenerate people I've ever seen in animation, bro. Absolute freaks. Terrible people as individuals. But their families are on some next level bullshit. And since the cast is made up of multiple MCs, I decided to kind of do a like light dive into each one of the main like people's families. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lightly touch on each, you know, main family in particular, and we're just gonna call South Park as a whole, you know, one, you know, entity. I'm not gonna do a singular family like I did with the previous ones. All right, so the first family I want to touch on is probably the least deranged. We're gonna go with Kyle's family. I'd say the worst person in Kyle's family is his dad, right? His mom is super dramatic, super extra, very annoying, and like outlandishly over the top with everything. But his dad is actually a poison to society, bro. In the episode Skank Hunt, his dad was just trolling Johns online, just trolling girls online, right?
You are retard.
No, you have to say a fat retard, Ike. It's a nuance, but it's very important.
You are a fat retard.
Ike! What are you doing?
What he says.
And he ends up leading one of the girls to kill herself. Like, end her shit. When he does this, and he's about to get blamed for it, he's like, yo, I can't get blamed for this. What am I gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have my youngest son, Ike, take the fall for me. Bro's literally...
Ike, you have to listen to me. On your mother's life, this is a matter of national security. You have to say, I'm sorry, Dad, I guess I'm just up inside.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm just up inside.
Bro literally tries to manipulate his son. He's like, yo, daddy might be in trouble. You might have to take over from here, bro. Like, wait. You might have to help me out, bro. Wait. So he tries to like literally let like his youngest son take the fall for him being a menace to society. Absolute fucking dirtbag, bro. Next, I want to go touch on the Marsh family. In the episode Bloody Mary, he's taking Stan, Cartman, Kyle, and Ike home. He's drunk as shit. Bro's literally drinking while driving, like beer in hand, swerving with all these kids in the car with him. And then he's like pissing in a bottle while he's driving with these kids. Like, worst influence like ever.
Dad, aren't you supposed to, like, not drink and drive?
I'm not drinking and driving. I'm driving while I'm drinking, right, boys?
Sure, whatever, dude.
Compared to like he's just a shitty fucking parent, bro. So he's driving, whatever, blah blah blah, gets pulled over, all this shit. And later in the episode, you know, he tries to go on like this whole I'm sick with alcohol, blah blah blah, all this like bullshit. But basically it hints at like it shows how bad of a parent he is, that he's just willing to put his son and his son's friends' lives in danger and doesn't even realize, oh shit, I could have killed everybody in that car. Later on in the COVID episode, he ends up like operating this like cannabis, like he basically sells bud. He has like a whole farm where he's like running an operation, and it leads to the worst thing that Stan has ever done, because Stan hates the whole farm. He hates everything about it. He ends up burning it down, doesn't even check if anybody's inside, and kills his sister, bro. He ends up killing his sister, burning her alive, bro. So his mom is like crying, broken up at the funeral, all this shit. His mom ends up ending her life because he, you know, ended his sister's life. So now it's kind of all falling on Stan, but even more so, it all falls on Randy. It's really all Randy's fault. But the ghost figures of Stan's mom and sister come back, and they're like telling Randy, yeah, it's all Stan's fault. It's all Stan's fault. If Stan would have never burnt down the farm, Shelly would have never died, and then, you know, his mom would have never ended her life and all this shit. It's just like, bruh, it's crazy. That whole family is gone, bro. They're not even the worst family. We're on the second family, bro. I got 3 more families. Jesus Christ. Alright, so yeah, the Marsh family's out of their minds, but the way that Cartman treats his mom needs to be studied, bro. So in the PC Principal episode, Cartman doesn't want to go to sleep, bro. Cartman's not trying to go to bed, bro. He's not hearing it. His mom's like, go to bed. He's not hearing it. Out of nowhere, bro just ends up pulling a gun on his mom's. No reason. Just ends up pulling that shit out. What does his mom do? She pulls it right back. His mom just ends up pulling this shit right back at him. So like they're just in a standoff. And he's like, Mom, you don't want to do this. And she's like, no, you don't want to do this. Just go to bed. And he's like, all right, Mom, go to bed. Like, bro. Yo, South Park is the nuttiest show. But like that right there, 1, you're pulling a gun on your mom. 2, the dynamic of his mom to just be like, you know what? Fuck this little nigga. I'm gonna fuck him. I'm tired of the way he treats me. I'm pulling a gun too. Insane. That's not even, I want to say that's the worst thing he's done to his mom, but there's another episode where he does the most deplorable shit. He's just Cartman is, as a whole, is a terrible human. So
You forced me to do this. You couldn't just love me as a son. You just had to humiliate and degrade me with your ruse. Wait. Maybe I don't have the right to kill my mom.
He sneaks into his mom's bedroom at night while she's asleep with a knife. And he's just plotting to kill her. He's just like, I need to end her. Sneaks into her bed and is just ready to just assassinate her in her sleep. And for some brief moment, I've never seen it happen, his conscience, whatever's left of his conscience, takes over and like stops him from doing this, but he's like fighting it at the same time. It's crazy, bro. Cartman is actually a sadistic man. He's really like, he's up there with like Roger and Stewie as like those characters who are just like off the wall, the most violent pieces of shit. Now we're getting into like the nitty gritty. Top 2 worst families. Kenny McCormick. His family is absolute shit, bro. I genuinely feel bad for Kenny. Kenny's one of my favorite characters on that show, but he comes from that traditional redneck, like white trash family. And in one episode, he's watching like this show that's literally called like a white trash like show. He's watching it, and it's about his family, bro.
You're a drunk piece of shit, Dad.
You're both drunk pieces of shit. Both of you sit the down.
White trash in trouble. This white trash home in Colorado seems innocent enough.
His parents, Carol and Stuart, are having like a domestic dispute with his brother Kevin. So they're having this dispute. His brother and his dad are going back at it. His mom's caught in the middle, and out of nowhere, their house gets raided. It's because his parents are running a meth lab out the backyard.
And if you look closely in the backyard, you can even make out what appears to be a meth lab.
His parents just running a meth lab. Like, they fuck up their kids' futures over running a meth lab, bro. So him and his siblings end up having to go to a foster home. It literally does not get much worse than this. So him and his siblings end up having to go to a foster home, all this shit. Eventually they get out, but you just can't help but feel bad for Kenny, because Kenny's really one of those dudes, right? Somehow we kind of get a little glimpse of his life maybe being even worse than we originally anticipated. In Coon versus Coon and Friends, they're highlighting Kenny's like alter ego, all of their alter egos, you know, the superhero thing, but Mysterion, and we get a little background on how Kenny keeps returning from the dead.
All the time. I die all the time, and you assholes never remember.
I think we would remember you dying, dude.
Well, you don't. I die over and over, only to wake up in my bed like nothing happened.
And you basically see that Kenny is the only one who really knows that he comes back to life. He's like, hey, you guys don't know this, but I'm literally immortal, bro. Like, I literally cannot die. I cannot die at all. Every time I come back, nobody even fucking remembers that I died. So I'm just stuck in this loop where I keep dying. Nobody gives a fuck. And that must be so psychologically damaging for Kenny as a character, for like just you as an individual. Imagine you come back, you keep dying, bro. Nobody even gives a shit or remembers that you died in the first place. You just have to keep going through this pain of dying. I don't even know how many times he died. Just infinite deaths on a loop. Nobody gives a shit. Come to find out, when he was in the womb, his parents had attended a fucking cult, and somehow he got cursed with this like immortality, eternal life, rebirth cycling thing. So now every time he dies, he literally gets reborn in his mom's womb. So his parents are the only ones who know that he has been cursed like that. Actually bonkers. Like actually fucking wild, because bro, it's like how would you put your son through that? You know that he keeps getting reborn. You're literally the one rebirthing him constantly, and you don't even give a shit. Like, they're just like, damn, we should have never went to that cult. Like, bruh. Lastly, the number one worst family in South Park, by far the worst family that I've seen so far, bro. It's gotta be Butters, man. Butters' family's tragic, bro. Butters be getting put through hell. Like, hell, bro. In the COVID episode alone, I'm just throwing this in there. The COVID episode alone, they said that man was grounded for 24 years. What? He may not be, starving like Kenny or fucking, deranged like Cartman is, but dude, his family have fucked him psychologically, like completely dismantled, buddy, on multiple occasions. But I have 3 really distinct ones aside from that COVID thing I just mentioned. So in the death of Eric Cartman episode, Butters' family sends him to get testing, and for some reason they decide to anally probe my guy for about 40 minutes. I think it's like 40 minutes. It could be 40 minutes or 2 hours. I might be getting that wrong. But it's a long period of time for anybody, let alone a child, to be anally probed, bro. And this is just the start. This is just the start, bro. Like, imagine the PTS. I can't imagine anywhere my parents would be fine with me getting anally probed. I can't imagine it. My booty hole ripped up for 40 minutes? I can't help but feel bad for little bro. You can't. Like, what? In another episode, his parents try to sell him to Paris Hilton as a pet.
Excuse me?
I said I'll give you $200 million for it. I'll write you a check for Mr. Biggles right now.
Chris, is she serious?
Butters, why don't you take Paris up to your room for a little while? Mommy and Daddy have to talk.
Mom, Dad, I love you. Please don't sell me to Paris Hilton.
Butters, right now!
She tries to buy Butters for 200 mil. The only reason his parents stop to think about it, they're like, what about 250? What do you mean, bro? Why are you trying to sell your son? What is going on? Bro, the fact that they were like dead, like, yeah, we need to get Butters out of here. I don't care, 250 mil? We're selling him. Bro, Butters literally lives a sad, terrible life. His parents don't give a shit about him. They either give a shit so much that they love him, or they actually don't care and they're just trying to like literally control and manipulate every aspect of his life. It's crazy. Finally, and it's gotta be like the worst thing that's ever happened in this like canon. Dude, Butters' mom tries to end him just because she wants to, you know what I mean, herself. So she wants to end herself, but she's like, you know what? Maybe I should take Butters out.
I'm going to get out of the car now, Butters. I want you to stay put with your seatbelt fastened.
Oh, well, all right, Mom. Okay, then.
You know, I think the car might be moving, Mom.
Shh. It's okay, baby. Mommy will be with you very soon.
Well, I think that, yep, it looks like the car's filling up with water.
Maybe I should drown Butters in my car and run it off of this ramp that leads into the lake. Maybe. Bro, Butters literally does not deserve this, man. He does not deserve this from his own parents at that. He gets shit from everywhere. Let's just be honest. He gets shit from everywhere. But from his own parents? What you mean you're trying to drown me in the whip? Why? Like, it's so irrational and drastic. I can't even think of. I know it happens in real life, but just the fact that it like so much shit happens to this character, it just genuinely makes you feel bad for him. I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's literally what has me placing him at like number 1 overall. His family is fucked, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, that's all I got for y'all. I'll see you guys. Peace.